Hey kids, right, just in, please put this one before the video of the bike running. Okay. Right, so let's see where I've got to. Following my issues with the ignition module, where I'd used a coil that didn't have enough impedance and basically slowly fried the buoy unit, I've gone back to using the original coil. It's wired back, excuse the high security ignition, it's wired back to the buoy unit, which the replacement one, which sits down there on the plate that I had. I've got my voltage regulator, connects out to my little power sport battery, and I've got a manual ignition, which I'm probably going to keep, just mount it here. Anyway, I've checked for spark, I know the timing's good. I've put my cone filter, air filter on. I've got my fuel on this side. I can't really do, sorry, let me move that out of the way. I can't really do fuel on both sides because it sort of becomes an issue with the oil filter I've put in. So I'm just going to have one hose coming up with a T-piece to both taps, or I only have one tap and block the other one, but that's probably not the best. Anyway, I'll figure that out when I put the tank on. Now the next thing to do is to give it a test run. So in an effort to quieten this up, I've just put this sort of perforated tube with an end cap, otherwise known as a fender washer, on the end. This will fit inside the silencer. I've got another perforated tube on the other side. This is possibly the best thing I can do to try and quieten it up, but that's what I'm going to try and do. I need to smooth down the weld so I can, you know, slide the silencer back on, but that's going to be my attempt at increasing the silencing without sacrificing the gas flow. Hopefully it works. So I've just wired in my ignition switch. I would have preferred it the other way, but there's a grounds terminal, and because this is well, I guess it doesn't matter, it's positive ground, it could go up, so maybe I'll switch it around the other way, because it's positive ground, isn't it? So switching on negative, positive to ground, if it touches out up here, it's not a problem. Anyway, so that's off at the moment and that's on, and when I wire this up, this will glow. So maybe that is the right way to do it. So that's my ingenious ignition circuit. I've just run a ground to the coil mount, which I'm then going to use for the lighting, the indicators and all that kind of malarkey up front, and I've run one out the back to go to the tow light and the indicators as well. I'm going to run wires rather than use the frame, because I always think that's kind of dubious to I know it's metallic and it's probably fine, but I just prefer to run wires, and I can trace it, then I know where it's going. That's it for now. Got some work to do. So after being really happy about my rear indicator bracket, I looked at the back of the bike and decided it was ridiculously wide. The indicators seemed to be out on stalks, which was silly, so I've cut a little piece of metal out, so much, about an inch and an eighth either side, and I'm now going to weld it back together. So the indicators will just stick out past the license plates, or it'll look like they're just sticking out past the license plate, which is really what I was going for. I just executed poorly, so I'm going to do a bit of welding. Well, what feels like hours and hours later, I finally shortened and done my indicator bracket. I could not get an earth. I could not get the bloody welder earth out. Plip, 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 plip. Grind it clean. Plip, 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 plip. Grind it clean. I had a little bit of a temper tantrum, said some choice words, motherfuckers. But I finally got there. Oh, so frustrating. And of course, you know, you walk away and then you figure it out. So that's that. Indicator bracket done. Hey, it's been a while. Well, it probably hasn't for you, because this is probably following on from a scene just seconds ago, but for me it's been over a week because I've been in California for work, and now I'm doing something very sensible. I've got my belt sander gripped in the vise. I'm going to turn it on, and then I'm going to take the side panel and ease out that shape where I've got the blue marker and just smooth it in so it clears the air filter. So that's the plan. Obviously, you know, I'm going to be OSHA compliant, so I'm going to cover myself in all sorts of paraphernalia. But because that takes a long time, I'll stop it now and show you after I'm done.